Hello. Thank you for the follow. Listerin5. I see GoPro Slowyo subscribed at tier 1. Thank you so much. How is everyone doing on this Cyber Mentoring Monday? Hopefully doing well. I see we got a few people. Matthew Spiner, hello. Hope I'm pronouncing your last name correctly. I'm definitely not going to pronounce Mr. Murky, maybe? Mr. Murky Y. Ready to learn? So am I. This is always fun for me. Barry Dweena. So the course, yeah, my course on Udemy were around $12, and then now they're $24.99. Yeah, so Udemy does that. I have some coupons on my Twitter where they're $14.99. But hang around. Let me get some coupons for $9.99 up in the stream. Do you guys? Do you mind if it's on Hackers Academy, not Udemy? Just Udemy doesn't let me do many coupons a month, whereas Hackers Academy lets me do basically unlimited. So let me know. What else we got? JBeers 11. How are you, my friend? You just made affiliate. Congratulations. I saw that on Twitter. That's awesome. Yeah, so we're doing a later stream. I was busy at my regular time of 5 p.m. Eastern. So now we are 2.5 hours later, which I know will suck for some people, but I guess there's a few other people who are now waking up or getting home from work, I guess, who were able to check it out, which is great. I'm going to try and do some more varied streams, I guess. Let me go to Hackers Academy and create some coupons. Okay, actually, so these are 60% off. Let me just double check what the price is at 60% off. Okay, yeah, so if you get this URL, so this is for the Windows Linux bundle, so you can get both of them for $16, or if you want them individually, I think they're $9.99 with this coupon. So there's 3 links. The first one is the best deal. Both courses for $16. But the other 2, if you already have one of the courses, for instance, I believe the other 2 will be for $9.99. Yeah, $10. You have to click through to the checkout for the coupon to apply, so it'll still say it's $24.99 on the sale page. Just go to enroll now, and then the coupon should be applied. So there you go. Those are the only 2 courses I have right now. I am working on a web app course, but web apps compared to privilege escalation is let's I was going to say it's like comparing apples to oranges. It's like comparing 1,000 apples to 1 orange. Web apps are highly complicated. So it's taking a while because I want it to be good. I don't want to do a half-baked course, if that makes sense. Cool. All right. So for those of you who are new, this is Cyber Mentoring Monday, which means we are doing beginner content. So easy rooms, easy boxes, and there are no stupid questions. You can ask you know, what did I just do? What am I doing? What command was that? You know, anything I do, just please ask. I do have chat right here to the left of my main screen. So I usually check in on it every now and then. We usually give a choice between Hack the Box, TryHackMe, and Proving Grounds. My Hack the Box subscription has expired, and I'm trying to work out something with Hack the Box potentially. So I haven't purchased a new subscription for that, but we have TryHackMe and we have Proving Grounds. So what I generally do at this point is ask people to vote. So I'll put a quick poll up. Which platform? We've got TryHackMe and Proving Grounds. Now the Proving Grounds boxes, the easy boxes, it's really a mix. You can get some quite hard ones. David Green, thank you for the subscription. I didn't hear it go off though. Is it? Let me just test a widget. Well, that worked. Yeah, I'm not sure why that didn't sound. Oh well. Thank you so much for the subscription. That's awesome. So yeah, we'll figure out which platform. It's always going to be Proving Grounds, isn't it? It's never going to be TryHackMe again. TryHackMe has some really useful, really good B-sides boxes that I really want to try, but we'll see. Are you allowed to stream Proving Grounds practice? I did ask, and one of the OffSec moderators said, technically no, but nobody's going to really comment on it. But I still kind of feel a little iffy about streaming like that. It's not like really allowed, I guess. So I figured, and I also don't really want to pay $200 a year, because if I put it this way, like if I get enough subs that I can justify the cost, but with Hack the Box, like a Hack the Box Plus or Pro or something, VIP, whatever it is, that's $200 a year. TryHackMe's $90 a year, and Proving Grounds is $200 a year. So that's like $500 a year. You know, which adds up. But yeah, there's plenty of free stuff on Proving Grounds, so that's all right. Proving Grounds 1 though. Let me switch to my screen. And hopefully it's the right screen. It is good. All right. Is chat showing up? I think it is. I did set it so the chat messages expire on the screen after 30 seconds. That way it doesn't completely fill up. Let me double check. So I downloaded the VPN. Let's actually get the VPN set up. Okay. Go to the warm-up boxes. All right. Here are some names. Any suggestions from chat? Let's get a short list together. I just noticed the mayor's in. Hey, the mayor. If you aren't subscribed to the mayor, definitely give him a follow or a subscription, honestly, because he does good content. I'm not sure. Do you stream that often? I'm pretty sure I have you on alerts, but I haven't seen you go live. He's been making some great courses though. He's got, I think, an Active Directory course and also like a moving laterally in Windows, and also a PowerShell for pen testers, which I haven't tried, but knowing the mayor, they're going to be good. So definitely check those out. Come on, chat. which boxes shall we do? You chose Proving Grounds. Otherwise, I'm just going to randomly select a few. Which, like, Al-Hazred did on his last stream. Because I guess he gets to choose. I let you guys choose. InfoSec Prep. I have done InfoSec Prep. But we can do it. We can add to the shortlist. I'm doing good, the mayor. Yeah, so I helped run the InfoSec Prep Discord server. So that was a box we did like, oh goodness, like maybe a year and a half ago as part of a giveaway. So we made it pretty easy, like really easy, which is fine if people want to see it. All right, I'm going to start selecting some. Let's do inclusiveness. I believe I've done photographer. Something makes me think I've done that. Vegeta 1. Let's just put a few. I'm just going to do a poll. We haven't had any suggestions, so which box? So we'll do inclusiveness. Vegeta 1, Sa, and Geisha. Geisha. Is it Geisha? I think it is. Alright. There we go. There's 4 boxes. Hey, Master. I am good. How are you? On ad 1, I am good. Thank you. Alright. So I put some boxes in the poll. So looks like Geisha is winning. I think it's pronounced Geisha. I'm going to look it up. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wow. The mayor coming through with 5 gifted subs. That's awesome. Thank you so much, man. I absolutely love it. We last week after my stream, we stream hopped. We raided a few people, and then we basically spent the night stream hopping and just dumping a load of subs onto people. So it was, we'll probably do that after this one. That was quite fun. Made a lot of people smile, so that was good. Where am I from? Originally, I'm from the UK, but I live in America now, and I am now an American. So, Barry Duina, I got a course for $10. Thank you. Yes, no problem. This is why I like Hackers Academy, because at least they don't try and screw me over with the coupons. And the mayor redeemed Solver Rubik's Cube. Alright, we'll do that while the poll is ending. I think Geisha won. You know what I'll do? I'll start Geisha up. Is it starting? There we go. Alright, we'll scramble this. I'll look away so people don't think I'm cheating. Not that I could cheat on this. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna sit back a bit so you guys can actually see, and I can actually, because otherwise I like holding it like right here. Alright, here we go. Okay, and that's the bottom done. I'll try and go a bit faster. Okay, that's the bottom two done. Okay, almost there. Few more moves, and we are solved. There we go. All right, redeemed that. Azad to purple. Well, the mayor, you're in luck because last week, or possibly the week before, 2 people redeemed it, and there were no web app stuff. Well, actually, 2 people redeemed it, and then Zap didn't work, which is typical of Zap. And so I didn't use it. I cheated because I couldn't get it working. It kept redirecting to HTTPS for no reason. So I used curl. I did the entire web app thing using the command line, which technically wasn't using burp. So we still got that. So I will be using Zap if we need to do any web app stuff today. All right, let's start scanning this. We'll use auto recon just to get things going. I think I've got it installed like that. Yes, I do. All right, I'm going to remove the results directory. All right, let's do sudo auto recon. Actually, yeah, no, we should be able to do that. Sudo auto recon. I should probably zoom in. There we go. Let's do -vv. And I think just the IP address should be fine. Oh, yeah. There we go. Okay, VV. That's something you just need to do if you install it using pip. All right. Yeah, I'll explain what we're doing. So AutoRaycon is a tool that I wrote for the OSCP exam. And it effectively just automates your enumeration. So what it's going to do is it's going to start off by doing 3 Nmap scans. The output's insane. I've done -vv. That makes the output kind of insane. But it started doing a top TCP port scan. Right, so it's going to scan the top 1,000 TCP ports. At the same time, it's going to scan all of the TCP ports. The reason it does these 2 at the same time is because Nmap only reports services right at the end of a scan. So the 1,000 TCP port scan is going to return quicker. And it's going to return with, quite honestly, most of the services that you want. So what's going to happen is, you definitely want to scan all TCP ports because you might miss some. But for the most part, the top TCP ports is fine to get you going. So that'll come back. And as you see, this is what it comes back, right? So it discovers all these ports and it discovers services. We also scan the top 100 UDP ports just in case. That's why I ran it with sudo, because you need sudo. Then once it's scanned these ports and it's discovered services, it's discovered FTP, for instance, on port 21. That's pretty typical. Again, SSH on port 22, and HTTP on 80 and 8088. So 80 is pretty common. 8088 is not that common. Then it will launch a bunch of service scans. So it does more specific scans. Not all of them are Nmap, but a lot of them are. So for instance, it runs an FTP specific Nmap scan with a bunch of scripts, typical for FTP. Does the same for SSH. For the HTTP, it's going to do a load of stuff. So it's going to directory bust using Ferox Buster, which you can change. If you don't like Ferox Buster, you can use Go Buster if you want. It's going to curl. It's going to try and find a robots file. It's going to do a lot of stuff. And so it also tries to identify things. So in this case, it's identified that it's using PHP 7.2.10. It's identified another HTTP server, simple HTTP. So that's kind of interesting. Actually, that's on port 9198. Simple HTTP server, by the way, is what you get if you run Python 2-m simple HTTP server. Is it all caps? Yeah. So this is Python's built-in HTTP server in Python 2. In Python 3, it's slightly easier. You do http.server. Okay. Let me check chat for a minute. Me and GoPro Slow You have decided to try some bug bounty programs. Do you have any advice on how to pick a target? There are so many to choose from. Yeah. It's difficult. I won't lie to you. All the best programs have pretty much been picked dry. Obviously, you kind of need to start with the public programs. And as soon as you find things in the public programs, you'll start getting invites to private programs, which is where you'll find a lot more stuff. Honestly, try and go for the more in-depth web app stuff, because there are tons of people just using nuclei scripts to scan everything. So try and do some of the more in-depth web app stuff is what I'd advise. You're still gonna, unfortunately, it's I've done some bug bounties. I've gotten so many duplicates. It's so annoying. I've gotten a few things that weren't duplicates, which is great, but yeah, ultimately it's a massive time suck. JBS, thank you for the raid. Does the UDP sudo rule is the same on mmap? Yeah, sorry, that's why you have to run it with sudo, because it passes sudo back to mmap. Mmap, yeah, if you do any kind of UDP stuff, you have to use sudo. It's just the way that Linux tends to work. You can't really do much stuff with UDP without running it as root, unfortunately. 2 seconds, got a text. All right. Let me see. HackerOne, CTF for private invites. Yeah. Cool. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up in Atom. This is Atom Text Editor, which I really like for reading auto recon results. You can go to atom.io, I think. Download the .deb file or the .rpm, depending on your flavor of Linux. It's also supported on, I believe, Windows and OS X. Yep. It's really good, though, because you can do this thing called adding project folders. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the project folder. I think this is the one, right? Let me just double check. 117.1. 882. Yeah. Okay. So add a project folder. You probably can't see it very well on the left, but the scans directory contains all the information you need, and we can start going through it. So we notice we have an FTP server. We knew that, but it's VSFTPD 3.0.03. So what we'll do is we'll make a note of that. Let's go back into the TCP, the port 22. Port 22, always worth a look, but a lot of this is just going to be pretty standard. Yeah, unfortunately. So there is a banner. It, again, looks pretty standard. I believe you can figure out the version of Ubuntu or Debian or whatever is running from this. So, I mean, pretty sure it's Debian 10. On Ubuntu, I think it's the version here you can match across. But we'll ignore that for now. It's usually not SSH in any of these things. So it looks like they have an index page. So what we'll do is we'll visit that in our browser. We'll open Zap. So Zap is better than Community Edition of Burp, but it's not better than Burp Pro, in my humble opinion. And hopefully it's actually going to work this time. Let's check. So we need the IP address. I'm going to copy that. Okay. Well, continue. Okay, so we can view the page source here, which we're already looking at. It doesn't look like there's much there. This is completely invalid HTML. The HTML tag, I'll zoom in, starts here, and for some reason we have a body above it. Oh, okay, because... Alright, I get it. Zap's injected. This is Zap doing this. So Zap's injected something completely not in the actual page itself. Alright. Fair enough. There's nothing here. Like, there's only 17 lines, and it just shows an image. So this is probably nothing. We'll probably have to find some directories. So we can go to the Ferox Buster list. This is the common list it busted with. And you can see most of these are 403s, like forbiddens. But there are a couple of 200s. Index.html is what we were seeing before. Index.html is usually the default. So whenever you go to a web server and you don't type in the file like that, usually it's the index page being loaded. And depending on the server or how it's configured, it'll be like index.html or index.php or something like that. But there's an info.php file, it looks like, which will open. I guess it's trying to download it, and there's just a 1 in there. Okay. Interesting. What else is there? Hang on. There we go. There was nothing else in the common word list. Let's go to big. Who was that? Oingy Boingy. Awesome. Thank you. Fromaster, sorry. Fromaster gifted 2 tier 1 subs to the Jamu and Oingy Boingy. I actually didn't read who the mayor gifted to. USR Gabriel, Yoshi, sorry, X Yoshi the Dude X, Clarksoft, Terry the War Seal. I like that name. And Will Bill 46. Thank you so much, Fromaster. Okay, so big had exactly the same. Let's go to the raft large words. And we have a bunch of 403s in this one. And that was it. So maybe it wasn't this server. Let's see what the nmap scan said. Yeah, it found the info.php file, which had a number 1 in it. Other than that, I'm betting it didn't find much. Yeah. Okay, so we'll move on. Let's do TCP 7080. Did it figure out what service was running on 7080? Let's have a look. Empower ID, interesting. I haven't heard of that before, so we may have to Google that. Let's actually just copy this and put it into our notes. I'll make sure I note that's on TCP 21. All right, but it doesn't necessarily scan. This is obviously TLS enabled port. Looks like it supports TLS 1.1 and above. But other than that, this is just some basic information, so we'll skip over that one. We have another web server on port 7125, apparently. Interesting. And this one, it looks like, okay, so there's an index.php page, but there's also a password file. let's see what this index.php page shows. The same thing. I'm assuming the same thing as before. I can't actually right click. I don't know why that is. Probably Zap. Okay, let's have a look at this password file, which is interesting. Yeah, let's save it. And then we'll open it. So I'll go to my downloads. There it is. Okay, so that's very interesting. We have the Linux password file, which just lists the users. So the password file, despite its name, doesn't actually have passwords in it. It just lists the user configurations. So these are all used on the system, and it'll say stuff like their user ID, their primary group ID, group name, and then some other stuff. Mostly this is their home directory, and this is what shell they use by default. So that's kind of interesting. We have a user called Geisha, so that might be how we get in. Try and find Geisha's password. But I believe there was also this shadow file, which was a 403. But the fact that it's there means it's likely the shadow file does exist. Shadow is where the passwords are actually stored. But if we go to it, it's going to say 401. Sorry, 403 forbidden. We do get a version of Nginx, which I will mark down, but I don't think that's vulnerable. So 7125. So right now I'm literally just writing down interesting stuff, usually version numbers. Okay, the raft large words, didn't find anything else. That's okay. Moving on to port 8088. Little DD, I hope that's how I pronounce it, or Little Deed 123. Thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Okay, so another web server on port 8088. And this time we have some forbiddens, but we have some redirects. 301 is a redirect. So that's interesting. Let's visit that and see. Okay, it redirects to just the /, I guess. Blocked /. I apologize if you guys can't see this. This is kind of annoying how Zap colors in this, but oh well. So there's an info.php page again, which is 2 characters, which I'm guessing is going to be the number 1 followed by a new line that we saw before. And then we got index, same index page. Very interesting. Don't apologize for really noob questions. This is what this stream is all about. What is that file browser? The file browser, I'm actually not using a file browser technically. This is Atom. So earlier in the stream, I showed it's atom.io. It's a really nice text editor that I really like. And you can add project folders, which is what I've done here. And so you can effectively, if you single click on something, it just loads it temporarily. And then when you single click on something else, it gets replaced. If you want to open a file permanently, you just double click. And now it's open permanently. So I really like it for reading auto recon results because you can just literally click through and it's not going to open a ton of tabs. It's just going to switch between them. It also displays screenshots, which is kind of nice. Right. So I think. Okay. That's the end of that one. There wasn't much on that either. And we have another web server on port 9198, which is exactly the same. Okay. Still got this info.php, which is 2 characters, so it's going to be identical. There's a few scans still running on this. So that's kind of interesting. Let's go back to this. So I will look up the FTP version number. It didn't look like we could connect to FTP anonymously, but we'll give it a go. So FTP sometimes has this anonymous FTP enabled, and you can get in by typing the username as anonymous and the password as anonymous. But that's something that Auto Recon looks out for, so yeah, it didn't work. But potentially we'll find some other credentials. Let's do a search for... I'm not entirely sure this version is vulnerable, but we'll do it anyway. So we'll search for the VSFTPD 3.0.3 exploit, and there's a remote denial of service, which obviously we don't want. I don't think... I think it's, yeah, 2.3.4 has a backdoor, but I think 3.0.3 is fine. So let's look up Empower ID and see what that is about. Empower ID service. Maybe it's a false positive. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. I'll Google the port number as well. Oh, there we go. Okay. It might not be Empower ID then, so let's just try and connect to port 7080. Oh, I think it was an SSL port. Yeah. All right, so we need to use OpenSSL. S_client connect, and then I believe 7080 like that. Okay. Well, it returned something, but it didn't actually. It disconnected straight away. But the certificate name, the common name is Geisha, and it has a web admin organization. Okay. Interesting. What else are we gonna get? Let's go back and look and see if there were any ports that haven't actually been scanned yet. Try 21. These are all HTTP servers. More HTTP servers. There's 4 scans still running. They're all directory busting various things. So maybe we'll find other stuff in the directory busting. These are all 403s. I'm just going to quickly scroll through and see if we can see anything else. No. Where was the one that had the shadow file? So this was really weird. I guess what we could try and... This is it, right? Yeah. Was there anything we missed in the password file? I did save it, so hang on a minute. I wonder if it's just a brute force. We could try and brute force Geisha's SSH password. So if I go to manual commands, we can use Hydra. I'll just copy this command here. And we'll clear this. And what I'll do is we'll change this line. This gives a list. And we'll do a dash lowercase l and Geisha. And we'll start off with the top 100 passwords. And we'll see what this does. Which box are we doing? We are doing Geisha, I think, right? Yeah. So the only reason we got to this point, brute forcing, is literally we'd found an FTP server which didn't have anonymous mode. We could, I guess, try and brute force Geisha's login on the FTP as well. So we'll do that as well. We found an SSH server which, you know, was pretty standard. Then we found a bunch of web servers which all seem to have the same content. Some of them had slightly different content. So 7125 had this password file on it for some reason. But other than that, they all seemed to be identical. Yeah. There really isn't much to go on. This is starting to feel like one of the mayor's boxes where you had to like directory bust for half an hour. Alright, so that found 0 valid passwords. That was pretty quick. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll give it rock you. I only say that because he's in the chat. Potentially, if he's still here. His boxes are really good. You should try his boxes. Word lists, passwords, rocku.txt. Obviously, we're not going to try the entire rocku word list, but we will try some of it. We'll also create a new tab, and then we'll do the FTP server as well. Why not? So we've got this lovely... This is a nice thing about AutoRecon as well. I say that as the person who wrote it. There's a manual commands file, which gives you a bunch of stuff that it's not going to run automatically just because it makes no sense, right? You don't always have to brute force stuff. But it still gives you the command, and it gives you... It puts the command with the correct IP in. You know, so you can just literally copy, and for the most part you can run this, but obviously we're going to edit it because we know the username. We know the username is Geisha, so we don't need this username shortlist up here. And so what we'll do is we'll take this out. We'll replace the capital L, which capital L in Hydra points to a file of usernames or logins. Lowercase l is the singular one. So that's why we want to do that. And then the capital P, obviously, we're going to pass the word list. So let's try this. All right, so the SSH one's going along. Directory busting is still going. Okay, this one quit, which is fine because it ran out of the passwords. Let's use rocku on this one as well. Use share word lists passwords rocku. We'll see what happens. I honestly don't know what else to do at this point. Unless there is a directory which we cannot find. So what we can do, because I use common big and raft large words, what we can do is we can use directory list 2.3 medium. We can try and do that. So what we'll do is we'll launch that as well. And we'll launch that one on port 80 first. We'll see what we get. And you know what I can do to speed this up? We know it's not going to be JSP, ASPX, and ASP, but it might be PHP, so we'll keep that in there. That should speed up a little bit. Still not found any passwords, which is weird. This is what we get for just trying random boxes. I have no idea if Geisha is quote unquote easy. It says it was supposed to be easy, which makes me think we're missing something in our enumeration, which is entirely possible. Why does the web server on 78 drop connection? Let me double check. I don't think it's asking for one. It just says no client certificate CA name sent. But yeah, it just completely disconnects. And even if it did need a client cert, which is entirely possible, like there's no way of, like we haven't found one. So it is interesting. Ah, here we go. FTP found a password. All right, let's see that. This is why we need to brute force sometimes, guys. Okay, so I'm going to copy that, add it to our notes. I should probably save these notes somewhere. Notes.txt. All right, so this is the FTP password. It's probably not going to work on SSH, but we should probably try it just in case. Geisha at 192.168.117.82. Yes, and it worked. Okay, that's why we should try it. So we are in, but let's see what the FTP server had. Geisha and password. Oh well, there's there's the local flag, I guess. So we can download that using get. So if you are in an FTP server, you can just use get to download something, and it'll download to the current directory you're in. So I was unfortunately in my home directory. So let's move that local file to AutoRecon results and put it in loot. Okay, we'll go back to SSH though. I think I typed the password wrong. You know, I can stop Ferox busting now. And to be honest, I can also stop this. Alright, hang on. Yeah, here we go. It was let me in. Okay. So, local.txt is the same thing, right? Presumably. How do you send to FTP? That is a good question. Let's FTP Geisha. Let me in. There should be, if you type help, should be a put command. Put. So if we have write access, I believe we can do print working directory. So yeah, home/Geisha. We should have write access. Let's create a file test.txt. Actually, we'll put some content in it. We'll put Tiberius in it. And that's in my home directory, which I am in right now, even though I'm in the FTP server, so I should be able to put test.txt. Permission denied. Okay. We can try and switch to passive mode. Yeah, permission denied. Okay. So, even though it's our home directory, I'm guessing, yeah, we don't have write access as the FTP server, even though we are authenticated as Geisha. All right, let's do a quick few moves. We do have Geisha's sudo password. She may not run sudo, so what we'll do is we'll use our useful little hack tools extension and try and find some SUID files. And base 32 is definitely a weird one. So, I mean, I think I've got an inkling of what we need to do with this, but we'll go to GTFO bins. For those of you who don't know, GDFO bins is an awesome site if you are on a Linux system and you can run anything and need to prevesc or whatever, or want to get a shell or something. Base 32. If we have SUID, yeah, we can basically read any file, which means we can read the shadow file. All right, I should do. Ordinarily, shadow is owned by root. It's only writable and readable by root and anyone in the shadow group, as seen here. But we can base 32 this file. All right, there is base 32 encoded, which is useless except we can redirect it back through base 32 with, I think, -D, yeah, for decode. So all we did there was we used base 32 to base 32 encode the shadow file, which we can do because base 32 runs as root, because it was in this list of SUID files. And actually, let me show you how you can determine that manually. So if I do an ls-l on the base 32 binary, you can see it highlights as red, which is the most obvious thing. But in these permissions, you'll see we have a read, a write, and an S. And the S is the SUID bit, which means it's going to run as the owner of the file, and the owner of the file is root right here. It also has the SGID bit set, so in the groups permissions, groups can read, write, they can't write, they can read and execute. And when they run it, it'll be executed using the group owner, which is root as well. So that's how we were able to do this. We base 32 encoded the shadow file, which obviously is only readable by root, but we're running as root technically through this. And then we base 32 decoded it. And so this is Geisha's password, but we have root's password here, all the way up to here. So we'll copy that. And I'm guessing we'll go to auto recon results and loot, and we'll put it in a root hash.txt, and it didn't copy. So to copy it, you're going to go from the first colon all the way to the next colon, which is over here. So even though there's these periods and forward slashes and dollar signs, you want all of that. There we go. Okay. And now we can use John, and then use user, share word list passwords, rock you, and give it root hash. And hopefully this will crack it. We will wait, but we can probably also upload linps. I'm assuming you can actually, yeah, we can create files. So what we'll do is I'll go back here, I'll exit out of this, get my own IP address, which is this one. Now in my var dub, yeah, we could base it to the proof.txt, but I want to kind of try and get a shell for that. Usually the OSCP boxes are designed to, you're supposed to get shells on them. So we'll see. Let me see. So I got privesc. Yeah. All right. So what we'll do, wget privesc linps.sh. Oh, that's a good idea, actually. Let's check if, yeah, okay. So maybe root has an SSH key. This is why I love chat helping. So OreoByte thinks maybe there's an SSH key. Ha, there is. Look at that. Somebody give OreoByte an Oreo. Okay, I probably shouldn't have done that. What we'll do is we will transfer it to ID RSA here. And then we should just be able to SSH directly from the box, honestly. Let me just set permissions of it. We need to chmod this 600. So if you have an ID RSA or a SSH key, you should really... Oh, I did base 64. Okay. It's fine. You should chmod it 600. Otherwise it's going to complain. But we'll do -I. We need to base 64 encode, decode it. ID RSA2, move R8 to ID RSA. All right, there we go. That's better. All right, now we can do this. So we're using -I, which means select the identity file, which is this key effectively. And let's do root at localhost because we are already on the Geisha box. Bad permissions. I need to chmod it again because I ruined the permissions when I did that. There we go. Nicely done. Yeah, it was a good idea actually. I forgot to search that. So I'm guessing this was not a good idea. But yeah, if you are able to read files, obviously getting the shadow file is a great way to do it. Now, ordinarily, you don't store your ID file on a box you're going to. It's supposed to be on your local machine, and the public one is on here. So I wonder if I cd into .ssh. Right, yeah, so id.rs_rsa.pub is the key that you'll usually find on a server. So if you compromise someone's box, you'll find ID_RSA. But yeah, I mean, in an exam, in a capture the flag, always worth looking for. So good idea, OreoByte. Nicely done. Okay, any questions about that box? We didn't even need to run limpies. No questions? Cool. All right, we can exit out of that. And let me shut that box down. Limpies is worth running just to see the Limpies art. I really hate the Limpies art. It just gets in the way, and if you forget to run it, if you forget to run the, what is it, the -Q option, and you're, especially if you're in like a really crappy terminal, oh, it sucks. And if you've piped it through more, you have to frickin' spacebar through so many lines. Yeah. I love like ASCII art stuff, but I just wish they keep it kind of minimal. All right, I tell you what we're gonna do. Well, let's do some TryHackMe because we've done Proving Grounds. So let's do a TryHackMe box. The B-sides, I really like the B-sides boxes. This is why I want to do them. Okay, so we did library. So we have 3 easies to go with. So what I'll do is I will create a new poll. So we got Thompson, Anonforce, and Dav. So we'll do those. Devil Pie is rated as a medium, so we won't do Devil Pie, and we did library on the stream before. So vote for whichever box you guys want. Meanwhile, I will close these down and switch to the TryHackMe VPN. I'll exit out that one, we'll exit out this one, and we'll exit out that one. Alright. We didn't really use much of OWASP Zap in that one either. Currently, Anonforce is winning with about 30 seconds left. Oh, now Dav's winning. Oh, now there's a draw. Well, if there's a draw, I get to choose. Let's go with Anonforce. Are you enjoying exploring Zap? I haven't really explored much of Zap. Okay. Start the machine. So we're going to wait for a little bit. Yeah, unfortunately we haven't really got to explore much of Zap yet. So it's been interesting. Maybe this box will have some more stuff. Have you tried experimenting with implementing Threader 3000 as a port scanner for auto recon? Threader 3000 is the mayor's one, right? I haven't. However, the great thing about auto recon now is it is entirely modular. Mr. Murky, thank you for the sub. The Prime sub, nicely done. So the great thing about Recon now is it has plugins. So for instance, the default port scan plugin is the ones that run by default. But you can make your own. I made another one, guest port scan. And all guest port scan does is it doesn't even do a service scan. What it does is it tries to guess based on the port number. So this returns super quick. It's just, it can be inaccurate. So for instance, if guest port scan finds port 80, it's going to report HTTP regardless of whether HTTP is running on it or not. So, yeah. If you've got time, could you create a noob list where all the tools are listed, not by default installed on Kali? Yeah, I mean, okay. Auto recon is easy. You can just do auto recon in chat. Honestly, most of them are just Googleable. Like, if you Google linpeas, you'll find it. It's the first link. There's linpeas.sh. Honestly, a lot of these you can just Google. Some of them are in the Kali repos. It's not installed by default. You just need to search, and I'm sure there'll be a Kali page on how to install them. But yeah. So yeah, so I mean, we can try. I can definitely try and create a plugin for Threader 3000. I'll have to see how it reports back. But it looks like he hasn't even, he hasn't even suggested auto recon. What's auto enum? Auto enum at least references my tool, so there we go. Yeah, no, I can try and do this. Because I haven't run Threader 3000. I heard some good things about it though, so maybe we'll do that at some point. But like I said, AutoRecon version 2 is all about plugins. It's all about communities writing plugins and submitting them back. Like if you wanna write a plugin and submit it to me, you just have to make a pull request. And I will inspect the plugin, make sure it doesn't do anything malicious, and if it doesn't, then it's going to go in. It might not get into the default set of plugins, but it's definitely going to get in there. As long as it, it doesn't do something that AutoRecon already does. All right, let's scan this box. So we use AutoRecon again. We'll just do -v. So this doesn't print the commands that are being run. It does print them somewhere else. I'll show you that. We'll add the project folder. Results, this one. In _commands.log. So we found port 21, we found port 22. Right. So it's found the open ports, hasn't found the services, but we can pretty much take a guess. While stab in the dark, I'm going to say that that's FTP, which it is. And that was SSH. So what we can do is we can try a anonymous FTP. It'd probably help if I copied the IP address. So anonymous FTP, if we type the username as anonymous and the password as anonymous, there we go, login successful. So that's what I was showing you before. Oh goodness. So we are, this FTP server is linked to the root directory. Interesting. So I can cd into home. And Melodias, which I believe we found the Melodias user last time, right? And there's user.txt. I wonder if we can do -la. Okay, so there's no like .ssh file. We can't cd into root. Okay, so I basically need to hunt around for a bit. Nothing really in the temp file. Let's check out user. There we go. Nothing real, so that's pretty basic. Opt maybe? Nothing in opt. Check if AutoRecon's found anything else. It hasn't. Okay. But I have noticed there's a not read or not read. Okay. Interesting. So we have a couple of, so a PGP file and ASC, so some keys. So what we'll do, we'll exit out of that and I'll CD into the results directory of the loot. And then we'll do anonymous again. Not read. We'll use mget to get both of these. Alright, and then we'll exit out. So we should have these files in here now. We can use the file command to check what file they are. That's just data. Okay, so this is a private PGP key, and this looks like it's an encrypted PGP backup. So this is interesting. This is new for me. How do we, on the command line, decrypt a PGP file? So we'll do Linux decrypt PGP. How to encrypt and decrypt files with GPG on Linux. GoPro Slow is way ahead of me. I'm trying to encourage Googling. So if you've got GoPro Slowyo in the chat, he will tell you how to decrypt. If you don't, we need to Google. So you don't need to generate your keys. We already have a key. So we'll scroll down. So we can import keys, which we may want to do. Is there just an easy way to decrypt? I'm just going to search decrypt. Decrypting files, GPD decrypt. So we do need to import the key. All right. So how did we import the key again? I think it was just -- import. Yeah. Okay. H8 handles 25 bits. Thank you so much. So we're going to import the private key. Please enter the passphrase. Ooh, okay. So we're going to have to brute force the passphrase. Okay. I'm guessing. Does John? Will John crack an ASC password? GPT to John. How did I know that was going to be a thing? So, yeah. There's so many. There's Zip to John. There's so many, like, 2 Johns. Yeah, it's kind of so pretty much if you have something weird and you wanna decrypt it using John, there's probably a to John binary that does it. So we'll do GPT to John. Private ASC, and we need obviously to output it as a hash.txt. John word list, and we'll just do hash.txt, and there we go. Xbox 360 is the password. So now, if I'm going too fast, let me know. But basically, we just brute force the password on this private key. Xbox 360 was the password. Okay, so we imported it. Secret key imported. Secret keys read 1. Secret keys imported 1. That looks great. If we didn't understand that, we could always use the trick of $? Which gives you the return code of the last command used. 0 is good. Anything other than 0 is usually bad. And now we can decrypt finally. So we just do gpg --decrypt. Decrypt the backup.pgp file. It's saying, please enter the passphrase to unlock the open PGP secret key. Well, we know what the password is. It's Xbox 360. It's the same password. There we go. Okay, so this was a PGP encrypted shadow file, right? So, and what we can notice here, so the root password is encrypted using SHA-512, which is fine. This one, I believe, is SHA-1. We can use hash ID. 75. It's even worse. All right. So $1 is MD5. I think $2 is SHA. Anyway, we can create a new hash2.txt. Shove that hash in it. Take off the last colon. We don't need that. And then we can use John again. And hopefully this will crack it. Yes, Vim, the mayor. It's a superior command line text editor. Yeah, MD5 is breakable by Google. The problem is when you're doing public boxes, is as soon as you Google this, you're going to come up with, the box. So I'm going to try and avoid that. We're going to try and crack it manually like you would do on like a real exam. But if we don't crack it within a relatively quick time frame. Entirely possible that was a red herring, and we wanted to try and crack this one. We'll see though. There we go. Oh, so we didn't crack it. All right, let's Google it. Well, you see what I mean, right? We get these right ups. Yeah, we could try Crack Station. Unrecognized hash format, yeah. We did grab the... Yeah, that is the right hash. So this bit's the... this bit's the salt. So I'm wondering if this is even... Is this even crackable? I mean, it should be crackable. Let's use hashcat. Yeah, 75 crypt, but that was what That was what John was cracking. Let's grep for $1. So Hashcats is 500. Oh right, yeah, Crack Station wouldn't. So we're going to A0, M500, hash2.txt, word list. I'm just gonna double check that Rocky didn't crack it. You don't need a word list. You need to just put the word list in. Otherwise, I wonder if it's... How long is this going to take? 12 minutes. Yeah. Oh, it's going down pretty fast. Okay. It's not Xbox 360, is it? I imagine... No, that would have cracked because we had Xbox 360 in the thing. It's just a bit weird that Rock U didn't find it. Usually these boxes all have Rock U. Alright, we'll let this run and we'll go searching around the file system again. Okay. Was there anything else that was weird? SRV. Oops, why did I do that? Okay. Nothing in there. I guess we could do it. I don't think we looked for hidden files, but there's nothing in the root directory. We could try looking in MNT. Did that work? No. We could try looking in media. It's kind of annoying. Was there anything in var? You could always try backups. Usually you can't read any of these. There's nothing in here anyway apart from an app extended states file, which I doubt is going to be anything. Interesting. This is a puzzler. Let's try let's try Meliodas. What was the let's try and get his username again. Let's just try because maybe this was an old version. Maybe this is a red herring. Meliodas at 1010 77116. Yes. Xbox 360. Nope. Can you put stuff? That is a good question. Let's touch test.txt. Actually, we'll add some words to test.txt. Anonymous. We'll go to temp. Put test.txt. Permission denied. I don't think we can put stuff. Melodias. Can we even... we can see the into Melodias home directory. Can we put anything here? Put test.txt. No. Permission denied. I mean, we can switch to passive, but it's not going to work. The bash history is 0. This is a puzzler. I'm not entirely sure where to go. Auto Recon found literally just those 2 ports. So there's not even a web server running. And I feel like the FTP server is just how we got the private keys. So there's got to be something we're missing. Maybe FTP has yeah, actually. Melodias. Xbox 360. Nope. No, so it's not going to work in CrackStation, and the reason is because this is a salt, and CrackStation doesn't do salts. And unfortunately, like even if we Googled this, we're just coming up with write-ups. I wonder if actually one thing I didn't try is going into his directory. Can we get user.txt? Okay, we can. So maybe that's the password. That would be funny if that was the password. No. But potentially, I mean, I don't think this is going to crack. Maybe we need the other password. GPG. I need to decrypt the backup again because I accidentally closed my tab. Maybe this is the password hash that we need to crack. So let's try this. Why not? What have we got to lose? There we go. That was it all along. What'd I tell you about it being a freaking red herring? So now maybe we can just root in. Can we SSH just root? Of course we can. And there we go, the root password. It just, yeah, boot to root. I mean, generally boot to roots, they ask for the user.txt. You know, usually there's a path to user, then there's a path to root. This one we didn't even touch user really. I'm gonna paste this in. TryHackMe answer format done, and then catroot.txt. Yeah. There we go. Interesting room. Definitely did it quicker than I think the last one. So that's kind of cool. We probably have, I don't know, I want to say we have time for one more. It's only 9 o'clock. But I don't want to start a room and get stuck on one for an hour. What do you guys want to do? We could just raid another streamer. Let's see who's online. There's only Linux Seguridad online right now. Unfortunately, I think that's a Spanish stream as well, so I'm not entirely sure we have much crossover in followers. Let's do another box. All right. Tell you what, we'll switch back to Proving Grounds. Let me quit out of this. And PG, there we go. All right. Okay, warm-up boxes. We did Geisha. We did Katana. All right. Anyone want to suggest any boxes? Last time we had nobody, so if I don't get any suggestions, I'm just going to randomly choose a few. Potato. Project DP, thank you for the tier 1 sub for 3 months in advance. Nicely done. Can I do a Django web app front end for your auto recon? Feel Dead, subscribe with Prime. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why you can't. It's an open source project. BBS Cute, all right. If there's no others, we'll just do BBS Cute. Oh, hang on. Potato and Solstice, people have said. Okay. Let's choose out of those three. So we got Potato, Solstice, and BBS Cute. Little DD or Little Dead 123. You're gonna have to tell me how to pronounce your name. Thank you for the extended tier 1 sub through December. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Destroy Worlds. I have posted the poll. Potato, Solstice, BBS Cute. Yeah, and little DD, little Dede, 123. I really appreciate. Just tell me if I'm completely butchering your name. It's a habit on this stream to just completely not pronounce my viewers' names correctly. But I really appreciate the subscription. Definitely encourages me to do these more often. We got less than half the time left. Potato is currently winning by 2 votes. Breacher FFF, subscribing for 3 months in advance. Thank you so much. Oh, Potato and Solstice are equal right now. Subbing is cyberbullying all the streamers to stream more. It really is. I mean, like, why not? I really appreciate it. You are giving me money to stream, so I feel like, yeah, I owe it to my subs to stream more. All right, Potato and Solstice have won. Let's do this fairly. Let's go to random.org. Yeah, let's allow that. Is there like a coin flipper? There we go. We'll flip 1 coin of... Ooh, we can actually... Okay. Let's flip a John Adams US dollar. Alright, heads Potato, tails is Solstice. It is heads. So we're going to go with Potato. That's kind of a neat feature. I didn't realize they did that. Where's Potato? Good luck on the OCP, Breacher. Oh wow, we've got a hype train going. I was involved with a few hype trains last week. It was really fun. Alright, starting in 10. Oh. Hunterbot subscribed at tier 1. Thank you so much. And I think we're on a hype train. This is why I like Twitch over like the other platforms like YouTube, just because of this kind of thing. I think Twitch is way faster. I did stream once on YouTube and there was such a delay between chat and me. Feel Dead enjoys my other computer poster. Yeah, I like that one. That's my favorite, I think. All right, let's ping this host and make sure we can actually see it. It is up. That's good. We will run Auto Recon again. Yeah, you've unlocked some emotes. I need to create some more. I keep unlocking new ones. I just move them down from tier 3, so nobody's ever subscribed at tier 3. I mean, why would you? It's like, it's ridiculous. Tier 1s is fine. Can you post the link for your terminal doc? Yeah. I mean, it's Tmux plus Powerline. So I think it's just Powerline now. I think you can actually install it. Apt search Powerline, I think. Yeah. So if you just do apt install Powerline with Tmux, and then there's some config thing you have to do. I really need to share my config file. There we go. It's like this. So there's a few things you do. I'll try and at some point I need to share the config. It's just a bit confusing because you have to install a bunch of stuff. So it's not as easy as just uploading the config files, unfortunately. All right. Let's add new project folder. Results. It's going to be 101. Scans. We got TCP22, which again is just going to be basic, right? I highly doubt there's going to be anything in here. So we'll move on to TCP port 80. Potato Company. At the moment, there's nothing. Ferox Buster is going. It's found an admin page. It's a redirect, though. Let's just open it and see. Okay. So we got a username and password for an admin site. There's an FTP server on 2112. Okay. Anonymous FTP is allowed. That's cool. 192.168.204. Go into loot. FTP. Whoops. Now we need to specify the port, which is gonna be. So it's just up here, right? Host followed by the port. So 2112. Anonymous. Okay. And we've got an index.php.bak, so a back file, a backup. Let's download both of these. mget these. Yes. Exit. All right. The welcome message is just a generic welcome. I'm guessing when we sign in, maybe. The index. Okay. The password is potato. We have another hype train, I guess. Received a level 2 hype train emote. Nice. Alright, so the password is potato, it says here. This is PHP. The username is going to be admin. So we can sign in using admin and potato. I guess we can't. Did I type it wrong? Admin potato. I did not, but I wonder if we can just go straight to the dashboard. I noticed it redirected to dashboard. We can't. So maybe this is another false, another thing. But the I mean, we're setting the pass. So we're setting a cookie called pass with the potato as the pass. I mean, we can just try that. So in Firefox, if you want to set cookies manually, I doubt it's type juggling just because this is supposed to be an easy box. If it was type juggling, I'd be very, very surprised. Alright, let's add a cookie. Pass is going to be potato. Is it? Yeah, it's dashboard. Yeah, so that didn't work. All right, maybe we have to brute force that, or maybe there's something else we're missing. Well, that's definitely a potato. It's just interesting. I'm not misreading this. No, change this password regularly. So maybe, I mean, this note must mean they changed it maybe. So we have got the admin user. So let's try and brute force this login using here we go, fuzz. I've never used the fuzzer in in OWASP app, so we're gonna have some fun. Fuzz locations. How do I... Well, this sucks. How do I add one? Right click. Okay. Like over here? No. Oh, there's add. That's weird. Alright, strings. Hang on. Modify. No, remove. How do I add a file? There we go. Alright, let's try user share passwords. No, it's word lists. Word lists, passwords, rock you. Okay, add. An error occurred while calculating a number of payloads. Okay. Start fuzzer. Oh my goodness. Alright, how do you filter? Because obviously we want to filter on probably the size, or maybe actually the... Yeah, probably the size, honestly. Anyone know how to filter this? I mean, there's nothing. Let me go all the way to the top. Ah, reflected? Oh no, because obviously, because the password will be reflected, yeah. Currently there's nothing. It's fast, but unfortunately you can't freaking filter it. But yeah, we can try stuff like potato one. Yeah. I mean, we could go there, I guess.
I mean, I feel like we would have found it by now. We're 17,000 payloads in. I'm going to pause it. Does anyone know how to filter this? But yeah, I mean, I imagine there has to be, but I can't see it. Maybe to output. No. This is why nobody uses Zap. I mean, there's literally no change in the number of the bytes. Like if I sort by number of bytes ascending, I get 109, and if I search descending, I get 109. And we know from this that there should be a difference, right? Because you get this message versus this message. Yeah, we could use wfuzz. Just trying to see. String compare post username admin equals 0. String compare post password pass equals 0. Yeah. So definitely brute forcing is the way to go. Unless we found anything else. Doesn't look like it. So what we can try. We can try wfuzz. Or actually, we can try ffuf, right? Right. So we can do ffuf. We need to specify -x post. Oops. Okay. We need the post data -d. And that's going to be, if we go here, we double click on it. No, okay. If we go here, it's going to be this. And fuzz is going to be where we want to fuzz. Ignore body. No, we want to do that. Target URL -u, which is just going to be. Actually, you can. Whoops, I don't want Facebook. If you go to view page source, you can tell it just goes to the index.php page. So this is the URL here. It's submitting back to itself. Okay. Then we need, well, you can filter basically or match regexp. Okay, so we'll do -mr. And we know that what we want to match for is, hang on, let's scroll up. We will match for welcome, right? Because we don't get a welcome message otherwise. So we'll match for the word welcome. Keep it simple. Okay. Do we have a word list option? -w. Okay. User share. Word list rocku. Oops. Passwords rocku. See if that does it. Oh, I know why. It's because of the stupid redirect that it does. Because it is just an HTTP site. Pod 80. There we go. This is even faster. So really there's no need to use any of that. what we'll do after this, if we make it through a substantial amount, we can try fuzzing potato with like 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Let's actually look up how to do that, because there is I believe, a nice way of doing that. FFUF incrementing numbers. Numbers. I swear there was a way of doing it. Maybe this is in WFuzz. I haven't found anything yet. Come on. We could use Hydra. Hydra's syntax for doing this is just awful. I really hate it. I'm trying to avoid Hydra. I mean, okay, so what we'll do some quick bash scripting. I'll cd into AutoRecon 192.204.101 loot. Yep. We'll do for I in 1 to, actually we'll do 0. 0 to 10,000. Do echo I done into num.txt. Alright, very quick bash script. If we head this file now, if we just see the file, you see it just prints out the numbers 0 all the way up until 10,000. So now if we do this, and we give, we're not actually give it num, but we're not going to have the fuzz there. We're going to have potato. So potato fuzz. So it's going to be potato 0, potato 1, etc. That didn't work. Maybe type juggling is considered newbie now. I mean, I did check it out. I don't think there is any type juggling here. Because I'm pretty sure string compare will... actually, let's just do it. So if we test.php, so the post.username is going to be admin. And then if we just echo this, we don't actually need an end quote. PHP test.php. Oh, yep, I'm stuck in Python. We get a 0, yeah. So the string comparison will return a 0. Oh, actually, yeah, and even if you do something like, if you do something like 0, yeah, or if you quote, nope, yeah, string comparison. I don't think you can get around. I can double check. Type juggling string comparison. Right, so it only returns a 0 if they're equal, completely equal. Oh, maybe not. Submit an array. Ah. Okay, I talked about this on Twitter. This might be type juggling then, which has no place in this kind of room. So effectively, if we give the password an array, maybe. All right, we'll try it. Let's replay this, resend, and we'll do password and give it an array. Oh my goodness. All right, it was type juggling. Okay, so to explain type juggling. All right, so this is dumb. All right. So in PHP, this is how you should really do comparisons with triple equals. Triple equals compares the absolute value of get login with the absolute value here, i.e. this is a string that means 1, right? It's a string 1. Get login has to be set to a string 1 exactly for that to be equal. If you use double equals, technically sometimes it won't work because a 0 can be equal to other things. So, I mean, the easiest way of doing it is to do if 0 equals empty array, I think. Echo equals. No? Okay. Is it, There's one way around to doing this. What was the example they gave? Is it null, I think? Yeah, there's a list, isn't there? I think it might be null. Yeah, okay. So 0 equals null. It equals null. But if you shove an actual third equals in there, it doesn't. And so if you notice in the PHP code that they gave us, if I'm not even in the right thing, they do an equals to 0. So if you can make this string comparison return null or return something else that equals 0, this check will complete. And so in this case, they pass an array. So if you string comparison an array to any string, you'll get a null. Right? So we got in because we sent effectively an array. You can do that in PHP. If you set a variable in the HTML like this, password and then followed by open square bracket, close square bracket, that signifies that the password variable is an array. And we're setting it empty, so it's an empty array. So the comparison done here, we already know the password is the username is admin. This check is fine. But over here, we're getting string comparison, empty array with whatever the password is, which is a string that we don't know. So actually, if we copy this, go back, I'm going to cancel FFUF. Let's vim this. Delete. So I think if we set password to something like pass equals whatever, and then we do a string comparison of an array, an empty array. print. Oh, actually, no, we don't want to do an if. We want to do. We just want to print the value of this, right? So we'll just do an echo. And we get an error, but I think that means it's going to be a null. If we actually do if this equals 0, echo we're in. Oh, hang on. I'm still in bash, not bash mode. I'm still in Python mode. Yeah, you see we get a we're in. So even though this code looks like it should compare something that we give it to pass, if you give it an empty array, which we did, it's gonna pass the check. So we've got this cookie now, which we can go back to. Set the cookie to this. And then if I go to dashboard, there we go. Access forbidden if you don't have permission to access. Lovely. So we got a few pages. User, date, logs. We can show the logs. Okay, password change. I'm guessing. Oh, there's a ping. Let me see what these. What do these pages do? They just load pages. All right, so there's a file thing here. I mean, what we can do here is obviously pinging, but we can't. I don't think we can change the ping. No. The one thing, obviously, we could potentially do is like this page equals users. Maybe it equals users.php. Can we do a %00? No. Like, could we, for instance, try and get /etc/password? No, but I'm betting we can probably do it here. So if you see this request here, where it gets a log, it posts log01 txt. I wonder if we send that. We get an error message that looks like it's French. How do we translate? Usually Google translates. Detect language, file content. Oops. It didn't get the Etsy password file. We could try and get dashboard.php though. Nope. Well, I guess what we could try and do is actually do some stuff like this. There we go. Okay. So what I did there was directory traversal. So you notice how the original one was what was it? log01.txt, right? So if we request that, we get a log file. And the way this probably is handled is it's taking this user input and on the back end, it's prepending a file path. Like maybe it prepends var dub files, right? Okay. And so obviously when I tried to replace this with Etsy password, it just made this, which made no sense. However, if you put enough ... slashes in, ... slash effectively means go up one directory. And so if we were to enter this, on Linux, this would effectively translate to, okay, we go into the var directory, we go into the www directory, we go into the files directory, we go back up to the www directory, we go back up to the var directory, we go back up to the root directory, then we go into the etc password file. All right? And if I send this again, we just need to figure out how many ... slashes we need to get to the place where we want to go. Maybe it's 5. It's 5. And you can go further than this, so you can probably do another one. Because once you're in the root directory, you can't get any higher. But we managed to get this etc password file, and you might think, okay, that's just the password file, there aren't passwords in it. However, sometimes there are. This is a weird thing about backwards compatibility. The password file used to have passwords in it, now it doesn't, except you can technically put passwords in it. So we have a password here, it's an MD5 hash, so let's crack it. I need to actually copy the entire hash, including this /. All right, let's do hash.txt, and we'll do John Dragon. All right, so we have a login web admin Dragon. Let's SSH web admin at 192.168.204.101. Yes, and Dragon. Hopefully it's going to work. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're in. And we have our local and user.txt. Now let's try this. We've got our password. Oh, look at that. We can run nice against notes. So stuff in the notes directory. Okay, and nice. Let's do GDFO bins. Nice, I believe, have something to do with executing files. Yeah, so the nice binary, I'm gonna look it up because I don't want to give misinformation. Nice Linux. Changes the process priority. So it's a way of executing files effectively. So we can run sudo bin nice notes id.sh, I guess. And we get this. If we see what is in. So we can't actually read what's in there. Clear.sh. Interesting. So I'm not entirely sure. How do we... How do we get out of this then? I wonder if we can just do something like... Okay, it was directory traversal again. Yeah, that was a shot in the dark. I honestly didn't expect that to work. But you can see how if we do sudo-l, we can run, it says bin nice in the notes directory on anything. Well, anything could just be .. again, right? Which takes us up to the root directory. And then from there, we just give it bin bash with the -p. And now we're running as root. I honestly didn't expect that to work. I'm kind of astounded. Okay. That was easy once we got in. So, any questions? Always worth trying to... This is a good box for directory traversal. Yeah. And also, yeah, a good box to teach about PHP type chuckling. Which I honestly didn't expect because I did not... Maybe is it in the OCP like course now? I mean, this is rated as an easy box. Would this be a 20-point box? No. I don't think so. I think it's too easy. The way to get in was kind of difficult. The Privesk was just insanely easy. I mean, literally sudo -l is the first thing I run, and then I just looked up bin nice, and I thought, well, maybe we can run it. You know, we can run it in the notes directory. Maybe we can run it up one. I don't think it's a 20-point box. Maybe a 10, except there's a Privesk. But yeah, any other questions? That takes us roughly up to the 2.5-hour mark. I think the Privesk was kind of interesting. I liked how they used directory traversal twice. So they kind of taught you a lot about directory traversal. But yeah, once we got that directory traversal, we got the password easy. Manicus Maximus, it's absolutely fine that you missed it. It's fine. It's going to be on Twitch for the next 2 weeks, I think, or a month, I think, maybe. Yeah, and unfortunately, I had to delay the stream for a couple of hours, but happy that I got to stream today. Any other questions before we go away and we find someone to raid? We got a few people. We've got JBeers11 and we've got F0 Ghost streaming. So who wants to? Who should we raid? JBeers or F0 Ghost? I'm going to leave it up to chat. I know chat's been just been pretty silent. Is John Hammond streaming? I don't think he is. Unless he just started. Hang on. No, he's not streaming yet. The only people that I know about... So there's this awesome thing, by the way, which you should go check out. infosecstreams.github.io, which shows the main infosec streamers and whether they're online or not. So if you go there now, you'll see there's 4 of us online. Linux Y Seguridad, which I believe is a Spanish stream, so obviously we're not going to raid him because I don't think many of my viewers speak Spanish. We've got JBeers11 and F0 Ghost, both of who are streaming. Alright, we'll flip a coin again. Let's go to random.org. Where's the flipper? Coin flipper. All right, flip one coin. What should we do? Let's do a George Washington this time. All right. Heads is going to be J-Beers, and tails is going to be F-Zero Ghost. I think that's tails. Yeah, okay, tails. F-Zero Ghost should be streaming. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. F-Zero. He's in chat. Well, you're about to get a few viewers. Any other questions before we go? When am I streaming next? Maybe this week. Definitely next Monday. I always try and stream on Mondays to do Cyber Mentoring Monday. So yeah, I've got a few stream ideas. It just really depends on my schedule. But it's been great. Obviously, follow me on. Let me actually before I do that, put the stream ending thing up. So you can follow me on Twitter, where I always announce my streams at least an hour early. I also have a Discord server where I announce streams. Most of my streams end up on my YouTube channel. And obviously, you're watching me on Twitch right now, so you don't need to follow me unless you have not followed me. At which point, you should definitely follow me. But right now, let's prepare to raid F-Zero Ghost. And other than that, have a great evening, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.